Hello, everyone. This is the Abundance Oracle here today. Remember, a day or two ago, I discussed with you um, how the United States is starting to bifurcate. Those people that are paycheck to paycheck are struggling more and more. I'm sure Trump is going to try and get some relief. In fact, I think there's some in what I'm going to read to you today. And those that have done well, paid off consumer debt, are debt free, and are now looking at investments to expand their portfolio and increase their wealth going forward. So I'd like to ask you what you've done with your projects this week, and what are you going to do next week with your projects? And that doesn't have to be all money. It could be spending more time with your kids. Maybe you're spending too much time working and your project is you need to spend more time with your family. But okay, I digress. I focus a lot on money and building, obviously, you know. Okay, I'm going to tell you what one man has done in a week. And you probably didn't hear a lot about the results, but you might have heard a lot of complaining along the way. And I'm inviting you to look, how can you build a team around you that can help you and help them create results? Okay? It sort of reminds me of Laurel Langemeier. She's always talking about building teams. She has a program called the Big Table. And I think if you're not yet independently wealthy, it is something you should look up and discover if it's something you want to do. It's structural, and I think it's very good and very honest, which is refreshing. Okay, this one man, and you'll be able to guess who it is, won just this week, in 1 week, stopped a nuclear war between India and Pakistan. Things got hot in Kashmir, really hot. Both sides were potentially saying they have nukes and might be able to use them. So Trump stepped in quietly and firmly and brought both sides back from the edge. So that's a major accomplishment, especially since some people are trying to instigate a World War III. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. 2, he's bringing Putin to the negotiating table. To make a long story short, in Turkey, Ukraine, and Russia are going to be doing a peace talk and at least start negotiations, and Trump is going to push progress. Okay, number 3, he hammered China, and you felt it too. We didn't get imports for a while, and everyone was all frantic and worried. However, the purpose was to hammer China because most of the presidents in our recent past, in my lifetime, have not done that and have not made much progress forward. So when he did that, he produced results. 90-day pause in the tariff war. He got China to blink. So now he knows where he can push, where he can't push, and negotiating going forward. If you haven't read The Art of War and you're interested in negotiating and getting things moved forward, you might want to do that. He got immediate cuts to key tariff, immediate cuts. He cracked down. For the first time, any president has cracked down on fentanyl exports to the U.S. from China. Okay. So I just want to point out, with the fentanyl stuff, He didn't just talk about it. He didn't set up any task force. He produced action of things to stop. So it's very different than a lot of politicians who talk, and then operate in a different manner or different direction. Okay, he has 600 billion Saudi investment secured. Okay, that includes 140 billion arms deal and over 600 billion in new investment into American infrastructure, energy, and tech. It's triple win for industries that we have. Okay, he secured a 200 billion Boeing deal from Qatar. Trump helped land a mega contract between Qatar Airways and Boeing for 210 jets. And I don't know if you've been following Boeing at all, the company. They've had a couple of mistakes recently that cost them a lot of money, and Trump is trying to help revive that industry and that one of our largest companies, Boeing. And it puts Americans back to work. And this also strengthens our aerospace edge over China, which makes me question, are they going to be building more than just airplanes? So we'll see as we go forward. Oh, I'll share with you my favorite cup. And you know why it's my favorite cup? My hand fits perfectly, so it might not be your favorite cup if you ever visit, but perfectly. Easy to drink out of, you don't spill or anything. Okay. He brought the last American hostage home from Gaza. A lot of people assumed this guy was dead. A 26-year-old aid worker and released from Hamas. He succeeded quietly. There was no ransom and no deal with the terrorists. He just made them give it over. Otherwise, they were going to suffer the consequences. Okay. Gas, grocery, and egg prices all were cheaper this week. National gas average dropped to $3.13. Grocery prices fell 0.4%, the biggest drop in 5 years. You know who these 4 years were because of. Okay. Egg prices crashed 12.7%, the fastest decline since 1984. And Trump did that. He actually started the whole thing rolling when there was a major egg crisis, and he got, I don't know what the total number was, from Turkey, but it was millions and millions of eggs flown in from Turkey. Isn't that wild? It's like how you solve problems with common sense. It makes you look back at our other leaders and you think, my gosh, how ineffective they were. Okay, we're still on this week's accomplishments. Excuse me. Inflation is cooling. Markets are up. CPI is holding steady at 2.3%. S&P 500 just passed 5,900, fully rebounding from all the ups and downs. I don't know if you follow the market or not. Okay, investor confidence. This says roaring back. I have to say, though, it might not be roaring, but it's being questioned whether it is going to be roaring back now. Excuse me. I'm sorry, my hydrangea are right outside the window that I get hay fever from for a couple weeks. Okay. He just cracked the back of Big Pharma. So drug prices, pharmaceutical drug prices are going to be down 30 to 80%. And he's forcing direct consumer to the pricing to be direct from factory to consumer pricing instead of all this unbelievable pricing that is only crazy expensive for the U.S. He cuts the middleman out of the equation, basically. Okay. And I'm going to say the most important part of that is the courts could not block him from doing that. Okay, now let's just keep going. I'm sorry. He doubled down on school choice. He declared Charter Schools Week and reminded every American parent, are you listening, parents? Your kid's future belongs to you, not some woke school board. Remember that. If you need to get your team behind you, the other parents, you go do that. Number 12, 150 executive orders and counting. A couple of the main points are dismantled Biden's DEI infrastructure of hiring people because of their skin color or ethnic background instead of their competency. Streamlined bloating federal agencies, which we still have a fight on because Congress approves things or not. And we have some, I'm going to call traitors in Congress that we need to fester and figure out who's who. And when voting comes in 2026, we need to pay attention on who's not for the American people and oust them. Okay, he relaunched energy independence, and he cut off foreign influence, in domestic policy, which means DOJ found and cut off some corruption. Okay, bottom line, this is what one man produced with his team in a week. Now, why aren't we all making teams around us? Ready? Averted a nuclear war, brought Putin to the table, shut down China's fentanyl pipeline, crushed grocery and gas prices, landed $800 billion in foreign investments, reasserted U.S. dominance in aerospace, cut Iran's influence, freed an American hostage, lowered drug prices, protected kids' school, and reignited the economy. This list was from my friend Mary, sent it to me, but it's from the Colquitt County Republican Party. So much we hear of complaining. Very few times do we hear of all the progress that's been made, and especially in 1 week. How insane, absolutely insane is that? Puts me to shame. I need to get my act together. Well, I have one big deal. It will be the biggest deal of my life, and I need to finish analyzing it and make sure I can pull it off. I need to be very conservative and make sure I have backup, because the dollar amount is going to be a 50% of my portfolio, so it's a big deal. All right, love you all. Get a team. If you have a family, align your family. Start putting that poster board or piece of paper up on your refrigerator with goals for the week. You don't need a whole long list. Start with a couple. Every morning when they come out and they're sitting down for their breakfast, whether you're a single mom, single dad, or you're married, whoever is going to make the breakfast, you say to the kids, oh, let me just tell you what we're working on this week. Maybe it's getting all the soil put into your raised beds for the garden. Maybe it's planting seeds. Maybe it's making progress on our savings. We're going to save and not spend so much money this week, kids. So I need your help. Enlist the whole team, enroll them in, okay, we're going to keep doing this so we can make an investment, so that that starts paying for mommy's or daddy's income, and I won't have to go into the office as much. I'll be able to start spending more time with you guys, and we need to do that right away, right away. All right, love you tons. We're plugging away on this all together. I love seeing your comments. It's fabulous. And let's just keep on keeping on, as they say. Love you. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye.